survey, but I'd love to just have everybody throw in there just one word about how you're feeling about your progress. And you can choose from the 4 words that we've listed there. But love to just hear about how you're feeling about where you're at in your health journey as we close out the month of February. Jan, I know that you've participated and led large teams in these challenges. What's something that you picked up from this last challenge that was valuable to you or maybe valuable to one of your team members?
Oh, thanks, Dave. You know, I just always learn from my team members. It's so fun to see every day what they're posting on the wall and see the support that comes out of it. And you naturally see people begin to start leading and helping each other. And that's just inspiring to me. I just see that it's just a reinforcement to let me know that when we come together, everyone achieves more. And that's the value of these, is to see that happening. And I've had so many days where maybe I was struggling, I'd go in there and read something, or someone would post a poster or a quote or something, and it just immediately put me right back in line. And so it was wonderful. I just want to tell my team members, thank you so much for helping make this challenge so successful, and that the teamwork really does create that wonderful synergy that helps us all keep moving forward together.
Yeah, we definitely saw some people that were total strangers that they came into the challenge, and then they were coaching each other and sharing recipes and ideas. And that's why we just want to, congratulate everybody for the things that you contributed to the challenge. And everybody had a place, even if you didn't say anything at all and you're a fly on the wall, we appreciate you being on the team. As we go through these little reminders that we have these 5 Ps that we talk about in the challenges, and we can just fly through those, Craig. A lot of you have seen these before, but sometimes, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So, were you doing the healthy habit points and just clicking through just to get your points? Some of you have done these challenges before, and maybe it's just gotten to become an unhealthy habit where you've just flown through the information. That maybe is a reflection of where you're going with your lifestyle plan, is you're just trying to get through it. Craig, talk a little bit more about making your health and your participation in a healthy lifestyle a priority and how valuable that is.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. It really is. If you think about your health, if you want something to change, then you have to do something you haven't done before, right? If you want to have a new skill and you want to have your life look different, well, then you got to do things differently. And part of that for me is I have to sometimes deprioritize something else, maybe the value of food, and I've got to increase the priority of feeling awesome, right? And so you got to displace something that's already holding a place in your life if you want something to change. And so if your health, think about this. When you're sick, how big a priority is feeling better? It's probably number 1 on your list, right? But when we're feeling okay, we're not sick, but we're not feeling great. Oftentimes we have other things that are a priority. And so I think that's just something to think about, displacing something that has too much priority with something that maybe you're not giving enough priority to, and maybe that's really feeling as good as you possibly can.
Yeah, and some of the challengers came in with the mindset that they were just going to do this weight loss challenge, and it was just about earning their money back. But they didn't maybe realize that there was so much more that they could get out of the challenges by just talking to their coach. Mm-hmm. Jan, talk a little bit more about the idea of having a plan as you exit out of the challenge to continue you on, and how valuable those partners are to be in community around other people. You need to unmute, Jan.
Sorry about that. Thanks so much. Yeah, as each challenge comes to a close, I always kind of look ahead and plan ahead to think, okay, how am I going to carry this over? Well, like what Craig said, to practice what we've learned until we get a chance to do the next round. And it's always great to have partners, to have somebody that you can practice with. And so maybe that's someone who did not participate with the challenge, and you get the opportunity to teach someone about what you've learned about the habits of health, and to remember and focus in on those habits, hydration, healthy movement, fueling often through the day, those protein, carbohydrate, healthy fat, those macros in balance, getting enough rest, getting the healthy mind in check, and being able to work through your challenges is stopping, challenging and choosing. And you can teach those things to someone else during the break. And then, or if you've had someone that you've done the challenge with, collaborate with them, partner in with them, and be sure you continue to be, watching over each other and helping each other. But either way, it will strengthen your resolve and help you as you go forward, practicing those habits, because those habits done on a regular basis, they may be small things, but if you do them consistently, that's what gives you long-term success. So just check yourself. If you find yourself veering back into old habits that are not healthy, pull it back in. And it's always good to have somebody to bounce that off of. If you don't have someone, find someone.
Yeah, it's so important to get back in touch with your coach. And Craig, if you go to the next slide, this is what our coaches are trained to talk about, helping you to create optimal well-being in your life. And that's the trilogy of optimal well-being that you see on your screen. And you may be in a position where you're like, Dave, what are you talking about? My life is terrible right now. You may have terrible well-being in your life. You may just be really struggling through life, but you know what? All of us are in this together. And if you connect back with your health coach, they'll help you to assess and evaluate your health. They have this thing called the well-being evaluation. We did that in our last survey, week 6 survey, where we talked a little bit about the well-being evaluation and helping you to identify how are you doing in your healthy physical body? How are you doing in your healthy mind? How are you doing in your healthy finances? And all of those things affect you, because at the end of the day, it's not about the recipes of the food that you're eating. Oftentimes it's what's eating at you. And if some of you are struggling with what you're eating or what you're consuming in terms of nutrition, it may be directly correlated back to some of those other areas of well-being. And you may just need somebody to talk to get back on track. I know for me personally, 8 years of being in this health journey, each one of these people on the screen, they've played a part in me continuing my journey, because my life hasn't been perfect. People have died. People have gotten sick. Kids have done things that have made me upset. And it's through this group of people and my coach that keeps me connected. Do you have the well-being evaluation up on the screen, Craig?
I'm working on it.
Craig's a magician here. Well, as we go through to the process of understanding what's next after the challenge, the challenge will basically end tonight with all the late weighouts. And then the challenge administrators will take about 7 days to validate, make sure that all the weigh-ins are correct, and then they'll provide a list of winners. We do have some health coaching scholarships for those of you that are interested in being a part of this community called Take Shape for Life and Optavia. And we have a scholarship program because we like to be able to incentivize our challengers to get more support if that's what they're interested in. If you've got it covered and you're doing great on your own, that's fantastic. You might be also interested in learning about becoming a coach and helping other people. Now that you've gotten some success in your own journey, maybe you'd like to share that with others. But Jan, talk a little bit more about the value of our community with Take Shape for Life and Optavia.
Wow, I can't even tell you how empowering it is to be part of it. Because we don't succeed alone. Like I mentioned earlier, we just do so much better together. And being able to help someone else change their trajectory and see their lives changing and improving, and you be a part of that, there's just nothing better. I mean, it helps you feel so great every day knowing that you can have that kind of impact. But it also helps me stay on track. Like I mentioned, when we are kind of working together, everybody moves forward. And I don't know, it's just always something new, something going forward with the focus on not just weight loss, but on optimal health. The whole person is empowered to be their best self. And that's so great for me.
Hey, Dave, I got something I want to thank you, Jan. I want to kind of dovetail off what Jan just said right there. If you think about our health, I mean, health is something I'm going to be paying attention to for the rest of my life. So take a minute and think about that. Are you going to be working on how you feel and, the quality of life that you have for the rest of your life? Well, I've decided that I am. And so I never thought about it this way, but when I thought about the reality that I'm going to probably be working a job somewhere where I'm actually going to be making money and to pay my bills and all that kind of stuff. And so what if the two things that I planned on doing for the rest of my life were the same thing, right? What if I could make my vocation be centered around feeling great and helping others do the same thing? And so that's what, and you see Jan nodding her head right now, right? That's what we do as a health coach. It's this side benefit that you get to not only work on your own health by working with clients, but you get this community of other health coaches that you can plug into that end up helping you keep your health. And I don't know, it's just, there's so many crazy side benefits, but one of the best ones, it's some people, go to a job for their retirement plan. Our primary, one of the biggest things is that we get to live in healthy bodies. We get to pay attention to our health. And I don't know, that's just been huge for me.
Yeah. Just one of the questions that came in while you were talking, Craig, was the scholarships for the health coaching program. And the deadline is the 28th of February. So if you don't take action on those, you'll miss out on them if you don't get participating right away. So make sure you contact your coach. And as we have the rest of this webinar, we're going to talk about 3 stories. And these 3 stories are quite transformational. And Craig and Jan are going to guide you through these 3 stories. And I want you to listen up as we close out in these last 15 minutes to really understand what it is that these people have gone through and how you can benefit from their story and doing the exact same thing. We're going to talk to Mark first. Mark, go ahead and share a little bit about your journey. And we had the opportunity to work together, so I know the story personally, but take it from here, Mark.
You bet. Well, thanks for the opportunity. And I've enjoyed being a part of the Health Games. And even in terms of paying it forward, you're going to see my example there from about 7 to 8 years ago. My personal story, my personal example is that I saw Dave Bush's transformation. And as we see and understand the healthy ripple that plays out, Dave was a member at my fitness center. And I saw his transformation of losing 100 pounds. And I was very intrigued. I was a bit of an obnoxious health professional thinking I could do it on my own, but I wasn't making it happen. I was 50 pounds overweight. So as I understood a little bit more and asked some of the questions of Dave in terms of what he was doing with the health coaching program, it created more awareness, more understanding. And I said, you know what, sign me up, let's go. I want to do this thing. I ended up losing 50 pounds over 3 months. And it was the total component of the program, staying connected with the health coach, being plugged into health resources, habits of health tools and resources, the healthy community, as you've heard us talk about and as you've experienced. Even as you see the slide here referencing the habits of health system, I was a proud know-it-all health professional 7 years ago, but I was 50 pounds overweight and my well-being score was terrible. It was crappy. It was not good. So the habits of health resources that you see here, I love this information on a recurring basis. Dr. A's Habits of Health that's dripped on us on a daily basis with our daily readings and the daily participation. It doesn't get old to me because they're great reminders. So even as we continue to stay connected to that, even after the challenge or in between the challenges, being connected with that, and as we're able to support you from a client standpoint, those resources are going to continue to be a key driver to move your health forward, to be encouraged, to be motivated, and to continue to move forward.
Thanks. That's excellent, Mark. Yeah, and I love that fact that it's not just about these little things, but losing weight, but it's actually a process of not only learning, but then continuing to relearn. And I love your story. I want to bring up, I think we have Donnie on board with us at this point. And so Donnie, welcome to our call here, and tell us a little bit about kind of your transformation and how things have changed for you and what the challenges has really helped in that process.
Well, thanks, Craig. My life flipped upside down as I was hearing Mark share his story, and he talked about being an obnoxious health professional, guilty as charged over here, because I thought I knew it all. I thought I didn't need any help and I could just do what I knew. And the reality was that I needed some fuel, and the fuel was this community that really helped push me along. And I knew things inside my head, but translating what was inside my head to actual action required a structure, And one of the things I love about the challenge is the fact that I earn points for doing the things I know. And all of a sudden I'm motivated to do the things I know. So, being that obnoxious health professional that thought I knew it all but being 50 pounds overweight, to now being a health coach, realizing and appreciating and acknowledging that I need this community, because it's been 5 years since I lost 55 pounds. And I've been able to keep most of it off only because of, these challenges in the community and the support and the structure that's surrounding it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, we're talking, one of the things that I know that is such a practical part of health, our community definitely is critical. But one of the really simple building blocks is what we put in our mouth and how that becomes who we are. And I don't know about you, but I use different types of tools to lose my weight. And then I often use some of those same tools to sustain that weight loss. And so how have the healthy fuelings part of our plan been a factor in the sustaining that you've done?
Well, the main challenge, the main gap between knowing what to do and doing what I know was time, not having the time to plan and prepare the way that I wish I could, or the way I know.
Mm-hmm.
And these fuelings have been an incredible bridge to make sure that I do what I know, because it's simple. It's the simplicity factor. And you talked about a tool. If you want to put a nail in the wall, you could use a shoe. You could use a pen, right? It's going to take you a lot longer. If you have the right tool, it makes the job so much more efficient. It makes the job so much simpler. It makes the job so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And with the simplicity of the fuelings, not only helped me lose the weight, but it's been essential for me maintaining as well, because guess what? I'm just as busy now that I've lost weight as I was before. And the time issue continues being a challenge. And so having something grab and go, knowing that it's healthy and it's nutritious and it's what I need without having to take so much brain space and time, has been critical.
That's great. And one of the things that some of you may or may not know about is we have new tools available as sort of a higher quality tools. Many people have challenges with artificial sweeteners, colors, things like that, genetically engineered ingredients, things like that. So we do have some new fuelings that are available that are higher quality, more of a premium, and they're called the Optavia fuelings. And our whole company is actually transitioning into much more of a wellness company rather than kind of being seen as a weight loss company. And so these are some of the benefits of the fuelings, having the probiotics built right in, having the multivitamins built right in. If you think about it, a lot of people will have some type of a bar, but then they take a probiotic and a multivitamin separately. But the best way to get those things is right along with your food. And so that's what this is. It's just baked right into the food. And so it's nice and convenient as you go throughout your day. We got another thing here. We talk about healthy community and some of the things that are offered to us with the healthy community. We have, the support system, online and offline groups. Right now, this is one of those online groups, right? And so we have events and different things that we go to. It's important that if you don't have a community, you plug into one while you're building your own. Because if you end up getting to your goal weight and you haven't built a healthy community, it's going to be the hardest thing to keep that weight off, because you're going to go do what your community does. And so that's one of the things that we're really, really focused on here, is building that community, and we'll help you with a temporary or artificial community in the beginning while you're building your own. And that's one of the real benefits of this particular program that we do have to offer. And we have this thing called, good habits and bad habits. And one of the pieces as we're moving along in our journey is trying to figure out exactly what, how I'm trying to get my PowerPoint, which is spinning right now, trying to get that to work, but we're just going to move on. We only have a few more minutes left. So let me see here. Jan, why don't you talk about the next thing is our, as we move on from the community, we have I don't know where we're at in the PowerPoint right now.
Well, I can tell you something, Craig. I was just thinking when you were talking just a minute ago, I learned something just recently that really impacted me. Maybe it will help some of you. sometimes, when we're trying to create some kind of healthy vision, something that we want in our life, we can get that vision, and that vision is clear, and we know exactly what it's going to feel like and how it's going to look and why it's so important to us. But sometimes getting that vision isn't enough. There's a part that goes with the vision, and it's dissatisfaction. And the dissatisfaction in your life of where you are currently has to be great enough to where you're willing to step into the unknown and go get that vision. So just think about it. Are you content with the status quo? Are you comfortable? Do you really care that much to go get that vision? Because if you don't care enough, if you're not uncomfortable enough with how it is now, you're never going to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of have to get that grit and that desire, like, I'm going to go get it. I want it that bad. And then you'll have success to change.
Yeah, it's that difference between the pain pushing you versus that desire pulling you towards it. One of this diagram here talks about the 4 different cornerstones that we champion, really, and we build our whole program. If you think of the bottom as the cornerstones and the top as the capstone, we've got the mentorship. We talked about that. We talked about the healthy habits. We talked about a community, and we even talked about the fuelings. And each one of those is a cornerstone that we actually build habits that are related to those things. And they build a really strong foundation for this thing we call optimal health, or the trilogy of optimal health. And that is the healthy body, a healthy body, a healthy mind, and then healthy vocation or finances, right? Because sometimes you'll have one of those that's pretty healthy, but it's at the sacrifice of the other two. And the other thing you might think about here is if you take one of those cornerstones away, like let's say you don't want to have a coach or mentorship. Well, now you take away that cornerstone, you take away that column, and now that roof is not nearly as stable. And so you really need all 4 of those things to hold up that vision, that ideal that you have of a healthy life, optimally healthy life. I want to jump over to Michelle here, and she's going to talk a little bit about the ideas of, why do people pay it forward? As a health coach, what are some of the reasons why we can jump in and actually partner with other people in their journey in these 3 areas? Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Yes. So my first plan was I'll be a teacher and my husband will be a personal trainer and we'll stay fit and healthy forever by osmosis. And it didn't work out like that. So when we were introduced to health coaching, I thought, I don't love being an employee. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like my paycheck. And I want to see my kids more. And here's an opportunity for me to call and check in on people and cheer them on and encourage them and walk them through a program that's beautifully written. And I get to celebrate them each week. And they're going to pay me. So we transitioned to creating that community of clients, health coaches, friends, with that better mindset of we are going to focus on our health because this is our body forever and it's important to me, versus I'm stressed out, I have to go to work, I don't want to go to work, I don't like anything I'm doing. That just doesn't get better unless you turn it around and choose something different. So we decided to go ahead and do something where we're constantly giving to others, right? And it actually gives back to us when I'm supporting clients on a call or a Zoom, or I'm meeting them for coffee and I'm cheering them on and encouraging them and I'm working with them on their health goals. It's going right into my brain too. When I hit the grocery store, I'm probably making the same recipe I raved about, or, it's going to reflect because it's what we do. And so if we don't want to be sick and tired and stressed out, we should probably think about a different path. And then this is what was presented to us, and it's been a beautiful time. It's been almost 8 years. Wow. And receiving the support and the training and the mentorship. I was a kindergarten teacher, which is a whole gift in itself, but it's not health coaching. And thankfully, I got to learn every piece that I needed to learn as I needed it. And it wasn't an overwhelming thing. It was just a nice, smooth process. And that's what I love when we bring on new coaches and they say, I don't know anything about this. And I think that you did it for yourself, right? You had a transformation yourself, and that's what we do. We just share what we know and we learn as we go. So
Yeah, I love that, Michelle. And by the way, when you came on board as a health coach, you had a health coach, right?
I did.
And that's one of the beautiful things about this whole program is everyone has a health coach. So, and usually what happens is when you decide, I have some people in my life that I want to help. Well, guess what? Your health coach then helps you help them. And then one day your client, as you become a health coach, you'll be working with people, and some of them, it's inevitable, they'll say, I have some people I want to help. And so this thing just starts to grow. But not only does your health coach practice grow, your community grows. And the bigger your healthy community, the better your chances are for playing the long game. And I'm serious about this, playing the long game. Like you're 80, you're 90, and you're feeling pretty healthy. You look like you're in your 60s and you're 80 and 90 years old. That's possible if you do it right, if you take care of yourself. So a little bit here as we're closing up here, we have the spring 6-week health games challenge. And it's called the Lean into Spring Health Games. It starts on April 17th. And so what's included? Well, we have the spring daily readings as usual. We have daily readings, but these are going to be spring oriented. We'll have some tips and videos as well. It starts on Monday, April 17th. Contact your team leader or health coach for details. And then you can save $5 with the code Lean in Spring. And we do have some scholarships that will be available for folks that have never joined the full coaching program to have access to all the fuelings and all the habits of health. And we also have some scholarships for folks that are looking to become health coaches and pay it forward and plug into not only the client community, but plug into the health coach community in addition to that. Hey, Jan, I want to toss it back to you. Do you have any final comments that you'd like to share with the team as we get ready to close this up?
Just that it's such a privilege to be able to work alongside you every day. I just feel, you guys hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, good. I just feel like it boosts me up every day, being able to be a part of this. And really, guys, think of this as an opportunity for you to see maybe something new and different that you've never seen before. This isn't a pitch or anything like that. This is just seriously an opportunity to create goodness in your life. Mm-hmm. And it's a program that's the best thing I've ever seen. And as a registered nurse, I've seen a lot of things out there. A lot of them are not healthy. This is the best overall comprehensive program to create optimal health in a person that I've ever seen. And it's worked in my own personal life. And I'm just privileged to be able to be alongside all of you and helping to move this forward and helping more people know about it.
Jan, I appreciate what you said. Actually, I just want to take just a second. Everybody that's looking, I've got a shot of everybody on the screen right now. Each one of us was a client at one point, and we had actual, visible, real results. Like we were a different size and shape at one point than we are right now. And the average person here is 5 years, maybe 7, it's been a while. So think about that. Just let that sink in, right? This is not a lose weight temporary program. This is a lose weight, yeah, and then let's sustain that weight loss. And while we're doing that, let's get healthy in some other areas of our life. And so some of those are vocational, so most of those are mental, and some of those we continue to grow in our healthy bodies, doing athletic things that maybe we've never done before. But I want to thank Mark. I want to thank Michelle, Donnie, Jan, and David. David had to run off to do something. Maybe he's going to go do some push-ups or something. I don't know. But I just want to thank all of you guys for your time today. And not only in helping us with this webinar and all the work you put into the challenges, but the fact that you are owning your personal health, personal program, and helping other people get a chance at that as well. So,
hey, Craig.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to mention, we just came from a weekend where we got all together and it was so much fun. And, in July, we're going to be having our national convention. And how awesome would it not be to have a challenge reunion? People that we're talking to from across the country and meet up And really, you were talking about how this is a lifelong thing. And some of my closest friends have come from this community.
Mm-hmm.
And so just wanted to put it out there that everybody is welcome to join.
Yeah, that'd be great. So we're going to button up for tonight. We'll see you on the next Healthy Challenge here coming up. And thanks for playing hard. Thanks for finishing up. If you haven't connected with your coach as we're winding down, what I like to do is everybody on my team, I like to have a end of challenge one-on-one conversation with you. And I do that for a couple reasons. One, I want to see how close you got if you didn't meet your goal. If you did meet your goal, I want to celebrate that with you. But most importantly, I want feedback from you on how we can get better. So I've usually met with people at the beginning. Well, now at the end, it's a little bit for you and it's a lot for us. So help us make the challenge better. So I want to invite everybody that's watching this to reach out to your coach and tell them, these are the things I loved and these are the things I was challenged with. And I hope that if you didn't make your goal and you're watching this, and you never connected with your coach, there might be something connecting there. And so the coach is not going to say you suck. The coach is going to say, how can you do this differently? What do you want, right? The coach is on your team in so many ways. So thank you guys so much for your hard work and all that you contribute. And we'll see you next time on the Healthy Games.
Yay! Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.